Now, as I mentioned, 1,200 Australians are trying to get out of Israel. Yesterday, a second busload of about 40 Australians crossed into Jordan, escaping the fallout from Iran's missile strikes, but not without frustration over tight restrictions and confusing instructions. Let's cross now to Israel and bring in News Corp's Europe correspondent and Sky News contributor Sophie Elsworth for the latest. Sophie, great to see you again. What are you hearing on the ground out there about this situation?
So really, Caroline, everyone's just in a state of nervousness at the moment. We obviously are waiting for the next alert really to go off. We haven't had one this morning so far. It's about 10 a.m. in the morning here. As for the Australians, look, yesterday about 40 Australians left on a bus, on a coach to Jordan that DFAT has arranged, and they're arranging these buses to leave at the moment each morning from the Intercontinental David in Tel Aviv to get Australians home because, you can't just book a flight here and get out of here easily. So it's a very tense situation. Everyone here is really just trying to, get through the day, stay with their family and just carry on as normally as they can. But there's no doubt, Caroline, it is a very stressful situation because you just don't know what's going to happen next.
As I was discussing before too, Australia has now shut its embassy in Tehran, citing a deteriorating security environment, a move that comes as Israel continues to strike Iran's nuclear facilities once again. And this week-old conflict seems to show no signs of a de-escalation. What's the sense on the ground there from locals as well? Are people getting more worried about where this could go?
So, Caroline, look, I've been talking to so many people while I've been in Israel throughout the week. I've spoken to people who've lost their homes. I've spoken to people who've, got family members that were killed in the October 7 attacks. So there's a lot of people here who are very, very traumatised. And every time they hear sort of a loud bang or some sort of, siren going off, they're sort of, looking around and thinking, what is that? There's just this state of anxiety for people here on the ground, and they can't really feel at the moment there's any end in sight. Look, overnight there were no sirens that went off here in Tel Aviv, which felt a little bit unusual, to be honest, because they've been going off every night for the past week. But now it's sort of like, when is the next one going to go off? So really the people here are just trying to be kind to each other, support each other, families, and so forth, are just staying close to their homes and close to really somewhere where they can shelter. Just this morning, I tried to get out for a bit of exercise along the beach at Tel Aviv, but making sure that there was somewhere I could shelter if a siren went off quickly. And there's lots of high-rise hotels and buildings. So you've always got to think, what is my plan of attack if that siren and a missile attack is coming this way?
Oh, I can imagine it would be incredibly stressful being on such high alert all the time. Have you had a chance to have a look at some of the sites, like the hospital that was bombed, that was hit by a missile yesterday, some of these high-rise residential areas that have been hit by missiles? Can you describe what it was like seeing some of these scenes of the attacks?
Well, I have, Caroline. I've been to quite a few scenes of these attacks around Tel Aviv, and it's just destruction. I mean, I went to one building site the other day, and the apartment building is just basically collapsed. There's cars with their windows shattered, just glass and remnants of the missile attack everywhere. It's chaos, and there's just people around. A lot of people very upset. I saw one woman yesterday. She was coming back to what appeared to be her home. She was very distressed to see the devastation. So people are just sort of in shock, I think, but also they're very resilient here, Caroline. That's one thing I've noticed. People just pick themselves up and get back to it straight away. So I am noticing the resilience here is quite remarkable.
Yeah, they're very resilient people, and they've had to be after so many decades of conflict and wars. Sophie Elsworth, please stay safe. We can see you're wearing what looks like a bulletproof media vest there. Please make sure you prioritise your own safety. But thank you for your time and your reporting